So today I'm going to give you another lesson, and this lesson is going to be how to fix the slice, right? So there's so many things that you can fix your slice with. We get alignment, we get grip, we get open the club face, we get ball position, but today I'm going to tackle on 3 most important tips. Okay, so let's start. So the first one is going to be alignment. A lot of times what happens is our pad of our club is going to be heavily directed on how we are positioned with our hips and our arms, okay? Because if we're positioned very much, to the left, then most likely our club is going to go more upwards, okay? And then we got the same problem if we're too far to the right, which a lot of amateurs do. Then we're going to have inside and we're going to come outside. So how do we check this? Firstly, if you get a coach, you can essentially do this to a coach, but you can put this through, right? So this is a very simple drill. You can put this through, and then from here you stand down, and you're gonna feel if you're, so this is kind of like a drill, like it's really nice for everything. You can use it for putting it, for chipping as well. But from here, you're just gonna stand down, and then from here, you're gonna see if your hips are rotated to the left and if your hips are rotated to the right. Okay, this is just for the hips, and then for the arms, it's always great to have somebody in behind or to use the camera. But essentially, if your hips are going to be very much, straight, parallel to your feet, then most likely your hands are going to do this as well. So this is a good drill to see if you are aligned. So look, if we stand very much to the left, okay, now what's gonna happen, right? We stand like this is how I used to play. I stand very much left, and then from there I went very much upwards, and then I sliced the ball because I went too far inside. All right, and then same can happen if you go right here. You can go to the top, and then if you don't normally go down, you can come over the top, and this can lead to many problems. Now I'm going to give you a second tip which leads to over the top. Now, why do we actually go across, not across the line, but over the top? Most of the times with amateurs, they love to use their hands, and they're using too much hands. So when they go to the up of the swing, right, they don't start with their hips. Okay, I've already covered this proper weight transfer, which you can essentially go to my YouTube and check the brainwash. I'm gonna link it up there. But essentially what happens when we go to the top of the swing, our hips should start first. If our hips don't start first, what happens? Understand, right? How many of you guys go up and then they do this, right? Then either you pull the ball or you block the hands and you slice the ball, all right? So watch, let me give you another one. We go to the top of the swing. Well, this is what many amateurs do. They go to the top of the swing, right? They start with their hands, and then your hands come across the top, and most likely you're gonna either pull the ball or slice the ball, okay? So let me give you one shot how this would essentially go. I'm aiming towards the yellow flag, okay? We go top, boom, right? Well, mine is good, but for most of you guys, probably, over the top, and then you slice the ball because you don't have proper weight transfer. Now we go to the third tip, right? You see how this all aligns together. We got alignment. Because of alignment, our across the line happens. I mean, not across the line, over the top. And because our over the top, then we lead to weight transfer. If you're gonna have a proper weight transfer, you're not gonna get across the line. Now, this is the third tip. So from here, what we have to do, I've already covered this so many times. I'm sorry if there's some of you guys who actually watch my videos. I tell this almost in every video, but this is really important. So when we go to the top of the swing, from here, your hips should start first. And when your hips start first, your hands are gonna fall into the right path. Okay, so watch. We go up, our hands fall to the right place, and now we cannot come across the top, right? So we go to the top of the swing, we start with our hips, and we move along. So this is how it would look like in practice. Pretty much you always want to have a feel that when you go on the top of the swing, you like wait 1 second with your arms and just have the feel that your left that you do a weight transfer with your hips at start. So it would look like this. Yellow flag, and then we do up, right, and there we go. We hit the ball very good. So this is where the weight transfer across the line and everything aligns. But now we go to the fourth one, which is very crucial for the slice. Now this one is very important because most amateurs, they have slice, and everybody's always asking, why do we have slice? Why do amateurs and beginners have slice? That's because of the weight transfer, of course, of all of these things, but because they don't turn properly and they don't finish their swing. Okay, when you don't finish your swing, watch what happens. If I go to the top of the swing, I don't finish my swing, I'm gonna block my hands. When I block my hands, well, most likely it's gonna go right, because you're gonna throw your hands inside and finish like this, right? How many amateurs you see do this? Watch. Boom. Right? The ball went right. Okay, let me give you another one. This is just another example. If you do maybe a slight finish, it could look like this. Right? Still slice, okay? That's because you pull your hands towards the left, right? Out to in, from up, to here, and then you don't finish your swing and you finish there, which means the club is gonna go out to in and you're gonna hit a slice. From here, what I want you to do, and this is probably one of the most important things, you really need to finish your swing every time. Like for us as well, I push the ball if I don't finish my swing. So when you start, the way you start your swing, you have to finish it, okay? So from here, all you have to do is just turn throughout the ball, right? Boom, okay? You have to turn throughout the ball. If you don't turn through the ball, you know what happens, right? And then you're here. And then your weight transfer is off, you're blocking the club, you're doing all sorts of things wrong. So now we go to the last tip, and this tip goes to releasing the club. So many of us, and many amateurs, many beginners, are afraid to release their club. When you don't release your club, you block your hands. When you block your hands, it goes right. When you release too much, you hit a hook, okay? You've probably seen many, I released it, boom, hook, right? I blocked it, boom, right. So you need to understand and you need to learn how to properly release the ball. Now, how do we properly release the ball? Now, we can go into very specific things with release, but the most important thing is, if you're aiming towards a target, you want your release to kind of go to that target. That's kind of the feel, that you extend left towards the target. The second thing, you're not cocking your wrist at the impact this way or this way. You're trying to guide like this stick. Watch, it's gonna look like this, right? So if I put this here, right? If I put this here, now this would essentially go like, we go bam, and then from here it kind of extends here, okay? So this doesn't break, this, like my wrist and my alignment stick stays on the line, and then we release the club forward, okay? Of course, you will need to practice and learn how, to get the right feel to move throughout the ball, but the most important thing here is you should not be afraid, and you should keep your left wrist to not break, okay? So it looks like this, boom, okay? Not like this, not like this. Stays center, okay? Now watch. We got the yellow flag, as we said, all the things above, and then you just hit your ball. That was a little bit chunky, but this is kind of the principle of fixing your slice. There's so many different things you can go to, like the grip, and because your grip is too strong with your left, your club is gonna be open, and then we get the pad, and we get so many different things. But I think this very fundamentally important tips can actually help you develop your swing and actually get rid of that slice. All right, so let me give you another shot. Let me give you one fade with all of the things we said. Right. Yeah, but anyways, that's pretty much the whole point of how to fix your slice. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't watched this video out, check it out, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you. Bye bye.